Cozumel. Pier permit revoked. Dengue alert. And San Miguel festival. Semarnat revokes environmental permit for Cozumel's fourth pier. Orders new evaluation. The Secretariat of Environment and Natural Resources, Semarnat, has taken a significant step toward protecting the marine ecosystems of the Mexican Caribbean by revoking the environmental impact authorization granted to the Cozumel Pier Cruise Terminal project, known as the fourth pier. The decision, made public on September 11, 2025, not only nullifies previous permits, but also orders a new, more rigorous environmental assessment for the project. This action by the Environmental Authority comes in response to an appeal filed by a group of residents and various environmental organizations on the island. From the project's inception, these groups expressed deep concern over the risk it posed to the reef system, particularly the emblematic Villa Blanca reef. The project, led by the company Muelles del Caribe, planned to build an L-shaped structure of 1.16 hectares, supported by 774 steel piles, with the capacity to accommodate vessels up to 362 meters in length. Project opponents argued that the original Environmental Impact Statement, MIA, approved on December 7, 2021, had crucial omissions about the existence and fragility of local ecosystems. The revocation of the environmental resolution is seen as a significant victory for civil society and a precedent for defending Mexico's natural heritage. Semarnat's Undersecretariat of Environmental Regulation has instructed the General Directorate of Impact and Environmental Risk, DGIRA, to restart the evaluation process under stricter technical and legal criteria. This new process must prioritize biodiversity protection and ensure the integrity of the ecosystems surrounding the project area. Semarnat's decision was based on cutting-edge legal and environmental principles, such as the precautionary principle and in dubio pro natura, in case of doubt, in favor of nature. The federal agency not only acknowledged the omissions in the original MIA, but also applied jurisprudence from the Supreme Court of Justice of the Nation, SCJN, and the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, CIDH, which underscores the legal soundness of its determination. The Mexican Center for Environmental Law, SEMDA, which had previously secured a definitive suspension of the pier's construction, has called the MIA's annulment an act of great importance because it directly protects the fragile reef ecosystem. The widespread citizen mobilization and public opinion campaigns against the project were a decisive factor in prompting authorities to reconsider its viability, sending a clear message about the power of public participation. Semarnat's decision calls into question the viability of a project that had been included in the 2020 Agreement for Economic Reactivation between the federal government and the private sector. In a context of growing global concern over the climate crisis and biodiversity loss, this measure reaffirms the Mexican authorities' commitment to sustainable development and the protection of natural resources. Now, attention is focused on the new assessment that DGIRA must carry out. The process will be closely watched by environmental organizations and the local community, who expect it to be conducted in a transparent and participatory manner, taking all potential ecological impacts of the project into account. The future of Cozumel's fourth pier hangs on this new evaluation, which will determine if tourist development is possible in the area without compromising the health of one of the world's most important reef systems. Cozumel faces rise in dengue cases, asks public for help. The municipality of Cozumel has confirmed around 50 cases of dengue and is seeing a rise in the number of patients with symptoms of the disease, according to Juan Antonio Zul Camara, the island's deputy director of health. This increase has raised alarms in the community, bringing to mind the 2019 crisis when 71 cases were reported. Zul Camara noted that in addition to the 50 confirmed cases, there are approximately 200 people with symptoms, highlighting the need for an urgent response. The most affected people so far are minors, primarily between 8 and 16 years old. The health authority pointed out that all confirmed cases are classic dengue, which is considered less severe than hemorrhagic dengue, now known as severe dengue. Given this situation, the Deputy Director of Health emphasized the importance of citizen cooperation. While the Cozumel government, in coordination with the Quintana Roo government, has initiated fumigation efforts, the eradication of the transmitting mosquito, Aedes aegypti, largely depends on preventive actions in homes. Zul Kamara explained that fumigation alone is not enough if residents don't eliminate mosquito breeding grounds. The official urged residents to get rid of objects that can collect water, such as junk and containers, to break the vector's life cycle. If we don't have the public's help in eliminating breeding sites in their homes, this will be a difficult fight, he warned. Hugo Perez Rosas, head of the health sector's vector department, agreed with Zul Kamara and provided a crucial perspective on the mosquito's behavior. According to Perez Rosas, Aedes aegypti is a domesticated mosquito, meaning it primarily lives in and around homes, unlike jungle mosquitoes. The Aedes mosquito only wakes up, eats, and goes back to sleep in your house, he explained. Unlike mosquitoes from the jungle, which travel long distances, the Aedes aegypti stays in the home or a neighbor's house to find food. Therefore, cleaning and eliminating breeding grounds at home are the most effective measures to control their proliferation. To speed up the fogging efforts, fumigation vehicles will circulate against traffic, especially in the early mornings and evenings. Perez Rosas asked drivers to exercise extreme caution to avoid accidents and mentioned the possibility of public security support to protect the operators. "We don't want to have accidents," Perez Rosas said, appealing to citizens' awareness to be mindful of the fumigation vehicles. The vector expert assured that the work would be done quickly to address the situation in about a week. Health authorities reminded the public of dengue symptoms, which include high fever, joint and muscle pain, headache, nausea, vomiting, and facial redness. If you experience any of these signs, the main recommendation is not to self-medicate and to go to a health center immediately. The General Directorate of Epidemiology, DGE, and the National Epidemiological Surveillance System, SINAVE, in Mexico, have identified 4 serotypes of the virus, DENV1 to DENV4, each with different risks and complications. With this information, the fight against dengue in Cozumel requires not only an institutional response, but also a coordinated and conscious effort from all its residents. A night of Harana and devotion. Cozumel dresses up for San Miguel Archangel's festival. The festivities of San Miguel Archangel, the island's patron saint, are at their peak, solidifying their place once again as one of Cozumel's most important religious and cultural celebrations. This year's agenda is highlighted by the traditional Noche de Vaqueria, Cowboy Night, an event that promises to be the heart of the festive passion and haranero joy. The central event of the festivities will take place on September 28th, with the highly anticipated traditional Noche de Vaqueria. The event will be held at the atrium of the San Miguel Archangel Church, starting promptly at 9 p.m. The festive atmosphere will be provided by the acclaimed Orquesta Haranera Knock B from Heselchacan, Campeche. The orchestra's participation guarantees a vibrant evening for local and visiting haranejos to enjoy the peninsula's customs and the contagious rhythm of the Harana dance. This event attracts both the community and tourists looking for an authentic immersion in Cozumel's culture. The evening of September 28th will begin with religious activities, the novena at 7 p.m. and the Mass at 8 p.m., culminating with the revelry of the Vaqueria. The organizing committee, made up of local families like the Chulchital family, and guided by cultural promoter Reyes Leon, has emphasized the importance of preserving these traditions. The festivities began on September 20th with the solemn descent of the image of San Miguel Archangel. Roque Alejandro Zuniga Chulchital, a committee member, highlighted the community's growing devotion. Many people are gradually increasing their faith. This is what we are looking for, to return to the roots, to the foundations of a united family. The devotion extends to the many guilds that participate, such as the taxi drivers, gastronomy workers, market vendors, and, especially, the Migueles and Miguelinas. The celebrations will culminate on September 29th, the feast day of San Miguel Archangel, with an intense day of faith and culture. 5 a.m., the Migueles and Miguelinas Guild departs from Reyes Leon's house, followed by morning serenades and mass. 2:30 p.m., the Fishermen's Guild departs from the cooperative. 3:30 p.m., the emblematic procession of the image through the Cozumel harbor, with many decorated boats giving thanks for the saint's protection.